All right, now before we get to our egg report, we will head back to our top story. A portion of Highway 17, that's north of Lloydminster, is temporarily closed due to a multi-vehicle collision. Now, according to the Britannia Wilton Fire Department, the affected area is south of Highway 3 and north of Sandy Beach.
It looks like the two vehicles heading the opposite direction came in contact with each other, and one ended up in the west ditch.
Members of the fire department says 2 people were transported to the Lloydminster Hospital with undetermined injuries. Drivers are being asked to avoid the route at this time. Well, imagine working on the farm and your combine or tractor breaks down. It may be weeks until a new part can be ordered, and by then you've lost time and money. Well, now there is a way local producers can create their own equipment on site accurately and efficiently, and it's as easy as hitting print. Now, it may sound like science fiction, but as Bart Padiesic reports, it's anything but.
Whether it's a 10-minute drive or a part has to come for 2 weeks being delivered, that piece of equipment is not in use. And if that can be made on the farm overnight and back into the field, then if there's a crop that they're trying to get out, it's going to be saved and they can go on to that next task.
Here is the Mojo, just one of the many 3D printers on the market right now. According to Javelin Technologies' John Brown, it works like your standard printer at home. But what it creates is simply remarkable. Fully functioning parts with less hassle.
But if you imagine if you had to make each of these parts individually, all the trouble that you'd have to go through, and then go back and assemble them, it's a ton of work.
Brown says the technology has been around for a while, but has just recently been hitting the headlines.
3D printing was developed in the 1980s. So when I was watching Hulk Hogan wrestle, some other guy was developing 3D printing. It was sold through the 90s, and I think just through the last 4 or 5 years, it's become quite commonplace on TV shows, radio stations, magazines, and newspapers.
You may not see many units like this on the farm fields today, but they are already being used by equipment manufacturers. Now, local farmers are starting to take note.
It's really a fantastic technology and is revolutionizing a lot of different industries, manufacturing, and one of those is coming to agriculture as well.
The company was one of 16 exhibitors at ADM's 3rd annual Farm Expo. JP Montalvo says it's a good chance for local producers to learn about new technologies in the field.
This is one of those ways that we want to build relationships with our growers, be able to show them things outside of just buying their canola from them, but give opportunities for them to be able to either learn new technologies, market information, or again connect with other participants in the industry.
And according to Brown, 3D printer technology isn't just for the field. He predicts it'll be a common tool in homes of tomorrow.
It's anybody's guess, but I think it's possible that one day down the road a 3D printer is as commonplace as a refrigerator, and when you need to make a part, you go out in the garage and you print it, and that's it.
Bart Padiesic, Newcap News.
Property taxes were on the agenda at the council meeting yesterday as the city deals with another bi-provincial issue. The Libby Young Centre, an organization that provides services to adults with special needs, requested exemption from property taxes but were denied.
They had certain tax exemption opportunities when they were operating out of Saskatchewan. When they moved over to Alberta, those weren't available to them. And in a city like Lloydminster, when we're dealing with bi-provincial issues all the time, that raises a flag for council.
Council has adopted a new policy that will be in place for next year.
There's a common platform of reference. Council has adopted a policy surrounding application for nonprofit organizations to submit their applications and find out if they are eligible for a tax rate.
So what management determined is there is something that needs to be done. It is in place, but unfortunately it's not in place till 2014. So Libby Young is going to have to accept the disadvantages that have arisen as a result of the relocation to the Alberta side, but hopefully they'll be in line for whatever opportunities exist out there for operations like theirs next year.
Now, as for the Libby Young Centre, staff say they didn't want to comment on the situation at this time. A new bylaw is being introduced to Lloydminster. It will deal with community standards throughout the city. Council gave the first reading at the meeting yesterday. The community standards bylaw will ensure people are taking care of their property and respecting their neighbors. Councillor Chris McQuid says they haven't received complaints, but believes it's time to modernize what they have in place.
noise one was one that was already there and has just been modified or updated, whereas the graffiti one is one that we've never had in place, so that's a brand new one that we're able to add.
Other issues the bylaw will deal with are littering, behavior in public places, streets, sidewalks, and maintenance of back alleys. McQuid says there has been an increase of fines over the past year.
That's just to ensure that there is actually some deterrent to them. As you heard Doug mention during the meeting, some businesses can just push their snow on the street right now. It's cheaper just for the city to deal with it. So hopefully this will actually be a deterrent and do what it's intended to do.
Well, the city's asking for feedback on the proposed bylaw, and you can see a copy at lloydminster.ca or call 780-874-9054. Well, on this week's Pet Project, Jenny introduces us to a new cat adoption program that the SPCA has for all spayed and neutered cats. As well, we get introduced to a shy 6-month-old rabbit named Niffy looking for a good home.
This is Niffy. Niffy is a 6-month-old female lionhead rabbit. She's a wonderful little girl. She can be a little bit shy at first, as she doesn't have much experience being picked up or held, but with a little bit love and attention, she could be the perfect companion. The SPCA is currently working on litter training Niffy, and it seems to be going quite well. She's just about got it. If you're looking for a furry little bunny in your home, come and see Niffy. The SPCA is currently having our Whisker Wonderland week-long event where you can adopt any spayed or neutered cat for just $20. There are currently 42 spayed and neutered cats here at the SPCA just waiting to find homes, like Barney here. All spayed and neutered cats will have a star on their kennel information, as well as all of the cats in the cat condos are spayed and neutered. Come down and adopt a cat for just $20, and let's get these cats home for the holidays.